wizards gather. The matter is grave, and between us, thicker than thieves, we exist as the original Americans. Maelstrom in your mind. Awaken the thinking cap. Armor up in the ways that are right for you, my friends. For it is severe that we live, and we seek the camaraderie and the passion of all this, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Master Source Industries. Oh my god. Alright, that was basically a perfect beginning, so I'm just gonna roll. My name is Hatch, and I'm here to present on the Breather Startup. I'm an incredibly intense American. I was a deep wizard, and I had a public access TV show. And between Earth and I, sort of meditating on the interface, like how the like because actually part of Dr. Obvious, reality, part of the reality and the evidence that maintains and prevails the goodness of creation is our intense meditation. So we are not victims, but I see a lot of talking in tongues. I see a lot of this sort of thing, but it's also, well, you know, to comprehend why Hatch is different and why is it that only now is he very passionate about opening up his company. In fact, I was always really interested in starting up a big company. But the earth was like, oh, you you know, you have this and this, and when the time comes, So I went through the school of hard knocks, you guys, and I learned all the kinds of wild stuff. And I want to have this heart to heart conversation with you because we need to be the common sense that is lacking. Okay? We don't need to allow talking in tongues as an evidence that that is the milk of God that proves that an incorrect conjecture to the child's spiritual orientation, that would not be okay. But we don't have to. It's not our dignity and loyalty to be a petri dish. Okay, where when you know, oh shoot, I know better, then you have to you compel yourself to behave. All right, so thank you guys so much. Oh, I have so much fun stuff to talk with you about, but it is serious, and this is an energetic, powerful wizard encounter. Specifically, the wizard's table. Everyone's being respected here. Technology plus the earth identity, struggling against the hazing of the universe. Boom. Practical engineering. Humanity is not broken. They are incredibly spiritual. But the evidence escapes those who think they're scientific and more intelligent. They don't see the signs of identity. They perform on the lattice of madness and the explanation that they are the ones making all this, but I am I am the earth wizard who says no, the little dragon king and his beautiful queen, yes, these individuals are the ones who are going to perfect the universe and everything. So I'm sort of the underdog because because I don't have absorbent, irregular powers, but I have sort of a tenacity of mind, and that's like I'm a, you know, I'm a voice of a generation, you guys. Yeah, free speech in America. What? Okay, you guys, thank you so much, and so just prepare for this meditation for this encounter. Trey Parker and South Park. You guys, I'm looking for you to produce me and be my agent and be excited about starting up this sort of very intelligent product the breather mask, and I'm here to talk about. So, but I want to say like get excited and settle in. Like, what if you need to like get some coffee or like, let's have a party. Or if you want to watch this later when you're ready to do so, we can have like a party and be like, oh, wizard party, because I'm hoping to perform like a movie length thing here, and I'm sort of warming up. I have like the energy, like, okay, so before, like, I'm very art is life, and so I'm like waiting for the right timing. About like a half an hour ago, because like I was still, I was going to wait until after the Wednesday to perform and just to give you guys space so that you can do your own show and stuff. But I don't know. I was sort of my angels like, oh, I think Trey uh, has done the show. It's coming out tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure they've got a handle on it. So and I was just like, oh well, okay. So maybe tonight Trey would be like, oh, I really wanted to hang out with you, so this is really cool. So I thought, okay, I'll just like, but it's like half an hour ago, and then I was just like, all my energy came, and I'm like, what? Oh, and then I was feeling all these things, and I was like, oh, and I had all these ideas for like the party and stuff. So I set it up, you know. But then when I get here in front of the camera, this is like my third take. I'm like, like I have these like little nervous feelings, but because it's like, oh, never mind, it's fine. All right, so let's just give this a shot. I'm asking you guys to perfect bullseye. Let's really put in the meditation because this product literally will save lives. And that's what we want to do in 2021. We're sick and tired of not having any hope or self control, personally speaking. And so this is like a revolution for the people. This is it's, um, it is categorically a toy. Okay, so it's a toy. I do want to do that whole thing where, oh, you open this box and there's a thing there, because we need to do that. All right, if we because we would need to get, we're not trying to say, oh, this is the new ShamWow, okay, you understand. But yes, I'm saying, we are making progress. When I say something like, okay, so this is a really good idea, that's actually tantamount. I mean, we've all thought about it, yeah, and going along. I want to talk to you guys about the speech impediment of humanity, the human condition, but it's not a disparaging. I'm saying that the the light itself is like a double helix. And so humanity is actually a character of life that is the preservation of light. Okay, so humans are actually the immunity to a divergent virus. Humans are very much the image of the universe at this point because there was a problem with the landing procedural, the interpretation, and this, like space fever. It's just a condition, and we need to not behave as a temptation to our neighbors who, on clockwork, they had a premeditated attack protocol that went off, and I was seeing, and then okay, so for example, like our own scientists released about 15 years ago. Scientists were really excited. Oh, we've detected it. There was a bright light in the sky. We saw a bright light in the sky, and we analyzed the light that was coming from that planet. And we've discovered that the planet over there is entirely diamond. Yes, a diamond planet. And this was 15 years ago. And they're like, oh, scientists have discovered a diamond planet. But it wasn't a diamond planet. You understand? For in fact, 545 is not only the sequence that exists on water, but it also exists on diamond. And so it conducts the handmade kabuki of the entity creature. But this remote thing about, oh, Earth is broken, well, it was Venus, Mars, and the orange planet that had been murdered, and these guys went there and they caused all this problem. But we can actually solve it with what we have, and Earth is saying yes. And that's why I'm so excited about the Wear map, because I was like, oh, Earth, okay, you found someone who could work with me, so he'll have the resilience and the spiritual training to understand what I'm talking. Okay, all right, let's go, Earth. And I'm still dedicated to that path because, like it or not, I'm not a troll. I'm not a hack. I'm not a parasite. I'm legit. You understand me? I'm here to fight for these kids and save lives, and that's what makes me feel good about myself. So I'm here being part of America and doing American things. One thing I want to say to Trey politely, whilst I am um, just having that beloved first kiss with America and having a relationship with them and talking about this breather mask, I really want to just focus on that. And I want to, I need you to understand this part. So I need a budget for when I'm talking about because I don't want to like put out like cheesy, like, oh, here's someone like using the mask and stuff. Like I want people to imagine, be like, oh, that would be so much fun. So it's a breather mask, which is awesome because then I could just go anywhere and not be afraid. I could go to theaters and everything. Because when you're in a theater, it's like, you're in this room and with people with heavy breathers, and it's like it doesn't even matter if you have a mask; it's just going to cloud up, and you're just, oh. So there's like a lot of situations like that in the office or the school. All right, so this product is like, oh, whoa, but I'm going to talk about it, and it's all this stuff is we've been learning, we've been growing together, and it's so important. We're going to assemble it today. All right, okay. Remember there's an infinite. Okay. Oh no, it's not infinite. Well, it's just described as infinite. Scientifically, the synapses in your brain is an infinite assortment. I believe the actual configuration is that for every it has to do with the atomic rainbow, but the calculation of why the brain has so many synapses. But with the event of junk DNA, there's actually like a din and like a type of thing where people we have like lots of dreams. We're like, oh, I'm dreaming. It's just like, and that's very practical because like a hallucination isn't really like a spiritual event. And so humans are incredibly humble, incredibly good, and absolutely the solution. But what I'm sensing is that we're like, oh, I couldn't jump, like we haven't quite jumped over the gap of completing the silver lining of junk DNA. I'm saying like maybe 2025, we're going to feel real confident and we'll be like, oh yeah, humanity's absolutely on the incline of enlightenment. Oh yeah. Because on a ray of light, oh really? And they start knocking out pieces of that ray of light. What do you get? Humanity. And then what do you get? Huh, a robot, big daddy. Hey, watch out. That's not cool. Don't. Whereas, other, completed DNAs, it's like a chamber. Okay. Because they don't have the suggestion that you're, okay. So, categorically, junk DNA is like this. So humans are a professional spiritual wizard, being like, well, I like to pace myself, and oh, that's too much energy for me. But I like, and I'm like, yes, I'm like, yeah, bring it. I love that conservative dad. Oh yeah, good stuff, you guys. We are those pros. We are that solution for the universe. You see, so physically speaking, humanity is the savior of light itself, and that's huge, right? So how do we grapple with that? Well, we have to protect our children. Okay, it's not okay to have. Okay, human anatomy is like a dog chewing on a bone. Just looking to get a little bit chew, and then build up the autoimmune system for the herd because they're hunting. Boom, boom, row, boom, got it. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Armor up, wolf armor. Absolutely, a revolution for America is here. All right, let's get to it. So the okay, so like, all right, let's just look at some slides. Thank you guys so much. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. Let's hang out for a little while and talk about stuff. All right, I love you guys. Perfect design. I love those procedurals, man. Everyone gets up so when that happens. I want it to be animated. I want it to be special effects. I mean, special sound, music, custom music. Oh yeah, being pay for that, pay for that, pay for that. Having our own music lab, essential. You guys, everything needs its own like. And I'm getting a little bit wary about how people are using AI chatbots because I've seen an AI chatbot that writes essays for people. It's like write a college essay.com, and you go and you just type in like the category and it starts like writing its own original thing, and I'm like, okay, no, I mean like that's great and it is it's amazing, but this is really what you guys think about when you're okay, never mind. Okay, No, it's not about what is this what you're thinking. It's about where is this going? Are we using our technology? Are we optimizing? And I'm seeing several indications that like, oh, some things are getting hazed out. Like, oh no, this consumer product is, and I'm like, what? VR is a hologram. This is like a holographic computer is totally important. It's like origin of the actual how computers think. Oh, what? Really? Yes, in a self-contained unit, holograms are possible, so they can have their own little avatars, and they're like, oh, we're alive, but they're also a computer, and that causes confusion for these spaceships because they have soul stone where they die and they go to that, and then they have this sort of a different life cycle, which is not the same as the clockwork of the royal heliosphere Earth. So the solar system is a relief system to the soul. And so we are on time, ladies and gentlemen. It is good to be here. Right. And, in my life, I was like, I sort of realized that there was a sort of zombieism. And like originally, when I was a teenager, I was an extrovert. I was like, oh, hey, hey. I just always loved talking, and I was actually a comedian way back. And I used to make my family laugh when I was a kid. I'd be like, oh, da, da, da," and then like everyone at the table would just laugh. Oh yeah, I used to like make my dad laugh like crazy. But there's this sort of thing where it's like like an inconvenient truth was there, and I was like, oh, and I had to like figure it out. But it turns out, good God is on our side, you guys. Like the reality is on our side. Like water is listening to us, is listening to the identity of that each of the child from. So the water is operating correctly, despite junk DNA. It's just a little bit. What we're actually, humanity is actually a character who is born and lives their entire life with weight trainer, with lead weights on their feet, lead weights on their arms. They're like, oh, well, oh, I see. I can get around this. But then in heaven, it's like, boom, 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 boom. They got huge throbbing muscles. These humans are crazy efficient. They're like so a creature with a completed anatomy just has no suspicion. They're just like, oh, everything's, because, but so like we generate these adaptions to the junk DNA, and that's just sort of already there in the background. And it's okay. Um, you guys, so the reason I went through this thing of teaching Trey about the junk DNA and all this stuff is because he's just like, well, I couldn't understand why you were so different and why I need to be. Why should I reinspect my judgment on your presentation? And so Hatch gives you this crash course of like, okay, well, do this and this and this, and Trey's like, oh, dang it, this changes like my idea about why society was crappy. And I am telling you, people, the sign of J.J. Abrams is no joke. It is very bad. It is very, very bad. All right. Jokes aside, you say, but no, this is actually like a pressure system, and it's like, oh no, no, Wally, no, like this thing's getting crushed, right? Because our society is the identity of these people who are like, no, no, not junk DNA, me, you know, and that shit's been rising, and also it's been like giving people favors, and people are like an old advisor from the time of like before cell phones, and he's like, I'm the American man and this is power, and I'm just like, oh no, dang it, you guys are like, you're on the from the 70s or something. This is after the deadlights rose, and after this and after that, these kids have extra spiritual powers, and you need to not be a numbskull, but you need to be a hero, whoosh, like never before, and wave your American flag. I love American freedom. Perfect design. True love. Yes, is the answer. All right. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So society literally is like trying to fight back against general Armageddon, which means in a total to our identity, Batman, Simpsons, and South Park would be it's sort of okay, hard to explain, but there's a sort of conversion thing that if we perform correctly, they'll be like, oh no, we're not going to convert your souls into okay. So literally, because they have okay, watch out for the humbug, beware of the Antichrist. Don't get triggered, right? Watch out for the clusterfuck. So this is a bad luck thing. But Earth chose Trey, and so Earth is aware of the situation and is protecting you perfectly. So have a relationship with Earth, and then know what to do. Okay. Or what was I saying? Okay, so Trey's like, yeah, because there's some people who are just straight up examples of themselves being like, "Durr," and then Hatch comes out, and then Trey's like, oh no, it's not actually that guy's just crummy. He's like some sort of social servant, like, oh, I fell down, whoa, cartoony. It's just like, oh, bad luck, what? I didn't know. Well, we have to be the ones who know because people like Trey Parker is an actual intelligent pillar of society who is not getting crushed. He's actually standing up, and the thing's going like, like, and it's causing an indent, like the pressure system of Armageddon is like it has like a dent in it the size of like Eric Cartman just being there, like, what? Mm-mm. Yeah, same with Batman, right? Batman's like, oh, me too, me too. He's standing there, "Rah, no, no to Armageddon." And that's what the past week I've been doing this huge party thing, and it has its own. It's like this, preserve, human identity, and that's for all countries, but America especially is a character, and absolutely the accent of America is understood when you realize that America is an extreme and advanced spiritual professional. So even our, poverty people who, oh wow, this fast food really gives me the, and poison, I see, shooting off guns, what? It's just like, oh, okay, that's Americans, and this is like I said, like a dog chewing a bone, uh, a real bone, because a real bone with marrow in it and stuff, it like festers a little bit when it's older and it has like germs in it, but there's all natural germs that happen in organic. So basically, a dog will chew on it, and it actually increases his autoimmune system to help him survive a winter or something like that. Um, but it's also sort of something that's important because the human nasal passage is especially vulnerable. The electric body, okay, the electric contour of the person. Remember, I was saying like normally actually a completed. It's like we're made in the image of God, and it's a prophecy. Like electricity itself is like a prophecy that hatches the heliosphere eggs and the heliosphere identities in the future. Like billions of years in the future. So this is really advanced material, you guys. Okay. But this is the important thing because there's miracle hacking going on from harvesting nearby planets. And that's not what caused Jesus Christ. In fact, Jesus is the good side of miracles, saying that is the blood of unborn heliosphere identities. Lock it down. All right. So Jesus Christ is actually doing this. He sees the miracles, he equates it to God, and he says, all this good stuff. That's the miraculous heart of Jesus. Is that he did that? He didn't say, he wasn't like, I'm doing these miracles because I'm this weird. He was like, no, you have to believe in God. So that's Jesus performed miracles that pertain to our orientation. So that's like the good wielding of miracles. Totally dangerous to wield miracles, but Jesus pulled it off. It's just like, wow, they did some good work way back 2,000 years ago. But it is not natural to have a miracle occurring at this time. Health. Um, because the transfiguration of matter is more like a nightmare to a planet that's still in, but they have ways, they have a natural autoimmune system, but it's like I have been receiving the full brunt of their clockwork agenda. Okay, so when a ray of light comes to us from a star, you can actually use the periodic table elements, the same one as I was showing you with the 4 columns. You can actually register which what element is rich on that, what's the light, and it's all diamond. Okay, but it wasn't a diamond planet. It was a laser beam that was trying to give it. They like threw a trash bag of butter at us, like a ghost bag, and so that was in the 90s or around that time. Oh no, not the 90s. It was in the two. This is 2009 or something like that. Like it was a long time ago. But there's like a bunch of things that they had like wound up. They're like, okay, when this thing awakens, we have to attack. That's a premeditated moida. and it's self-evidently criminal. It's hard to explain, but I'm working on it. All right. So Trey, I need you to really armor up from within and watch out for the bad luck you know about invisible things because the South Park curse. It's education that Earth and the universe has given you, Trey, and it's perfect. And you are the chosen one, Trey, to give these kids a breather. I'm talking about practical things. I'm not even asking you guys to sacrifice yourself. You're saying it's good. This is good. We have to keep working. All right. Let's look at the pictures. Thank you guys. Oh, I did that whole thing without clicking on it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe it was good. I don't know. Maybe that's why I was hesitating. Because I felt like, where's my steam right now? Where's my energy? And I was like, oh, dang. Because I didn't click on it. I'm so sorry. All right. All right. So I am, I don't want to use the wrong conjecture. This is actually my family unit. So, you know, pressing too hard on Trey about this issue is not appropriate for me. It's not right for Trey. So that's, I want to say, you guys, I love you guys. And the Green Wolf robot is absolutely like a universal robotic heart. It is like the surgery we need to bypass an impasse of junk DNA and prevent Armageddon. But we need to do some real work where we can feel people are like trusting our product, and it's just like and we do have time. We have time. Oh, like if oh my God, if we could do the Wolf robot on Christmas for 2021, you guys, that would be so beautiful. It would be so good. Oh, I love that script. You know, we just have to be present with like, what does it feel like today, and where are we now? So because of this, um, because okay, I want to say something very, very powerfully. Okay, it was about 4 days ago, maybe a week, where I was looking at the news, I was looking at the headlines, and there were these totally triggered uh, line structure and sentences, like words that you know and you're like, "What?" You know, okay, but this happened like a week ago where there were several of them, and I'm like, "Oh, this is the angel of before the flood kind of thing," like, like saying like, "I'm sensing a zombie apocalypse in the near future." People like with all their variant strains, like being like, "Well, why should we?" Okay, look, I'm not predicting a societal collapse. I'm predicting a lot of people getting sick and dying, and that's not okay. But we're here to be this energy that understands it and transcends, in fact, the design struggle. All right, but the okay, here's the effing problem, Trey. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, this was a week ago, and I saw boom, 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 very telltale headlines. Like just like they don't like they give the critical clue, but they don't expand on what that means. Why is that alarming? We didn't import this from elsewhere. Like that's your quote from the scientist? Like the article is not converting to our native language the strange dialect of scientists. The scientist is like, well, I don't want to be alarming, but this virus is actually mutating on its own. So it's been engineered. All right, so oh no, it's like so our children are being attacked by okay, so it's actually absorbent and beyond what is normal. And our government is not acting that way. And so there's a false peace and a false sort of. Okay, so then after a week ago, basically like 5 days ago, and then ever since then, I've been looking at the news, and all of this sort of telltale thing gone, like it'd been deleted like a virus. Like someone's like, uh-oh, someone's talking about saving, and then it's just like, "Beep," and I was like, what? And because it's like recently just been like trash articles talking about like, oh, this celebrity fell down and it's terrible. And yeah, it is terrible. All right, let's just let's keep rolling. Thank you so much, you guys. All right, let's just go to images. All right, so in with a Right, so with like a completed anatomy, you wouldn't have all these hobgoblins because these are places where germs fester. In fact, there's like these weird hot pockets where you can actually spit out like a yellow ball of mucus that smells like shit, and so that's not actually a natural. There's actually phalanges and stuff in the human body that are obsolete, uh, but we need to transcend them. It's not that they're um, uh, residual re- it's not that it's a um I can't think of the word, like an obsolete thing that we've already evolved. It's actually something that's a present danger, and it's like if you're if so the human is adapted to this issue of like MPD. But a professional human is like, the reason I'm a professional is because I maintain my stride. Understand? And I don't like things that rock my boat. Okay, well, the thing that's happening to us is about Earth getting murdered. And we don't want our children to die. That's what this is. So I'm not here rattling your fucking cage. You need to have a fucking wake up call and get to work. Because I'm talking about something that is a $1 million industry and it saves lives. And I can't get you guys. Okay, well, I want you to reinvent, okay, a new kind. Oh, so he's not a troll who's trying to like get money. He's like, oh, he's different. Okay. Well, the nasal passage is especially vulnerable. Like I was saying, the electric body is an airtight seal of a sort of image of God. So the fact of electricity is against junk DNA categorically. So there's no scientists that are in the UFOs. They're not scientifically gauging this thing. They literally attacked because of not because of what I did, but because of who and what I was. And that's not okay. But it's also something that Trey would say, "Oh, I don't, no, I don't know about that." Oh, I okay, but I understand. It's okay. So I actually have a lot of. It's like the junk DNA is a different experience for me, and that is also natural. So I might appear to you as a roguesque or whatever, but I'm actually a full professional. And I had a sign from the earth many years ago that about me running for president. I did want to tell Trey Parker I'm not going to be using my the startup as I'm not going to like tag on to the back. Oh, and also I'm running for president. So I'm not going to be doing that, but I am right now officially I am running for president. And I'm going to continue running for president because I love this country and I am a visionary for the future. And I'm so grateful that you guys are here, and it's awesome. All right. The point is that um, because okay, so the electric body is like an airtight seal. But then there's this meditation about like, well, what about eating food? Like, so how much, like, how do you integrate spirits, or how do you learn spiritually? Okay, and that's what the smell and the feeling of um so it's a spiritual thing where you intake a little bit of ghost. Oh, what's the atmosphere? What's the nature of Earth? You're breathing it in, breathing it out, but you're still in this airtight identity uh, position. But humanity has a complex with the junk DNA where they're like, well, sometimes I have a nightmare, but and I'm like, oh, I totally get it. Yep, it's fine. And but it's actually that it's a strength because we're actually sort of, in a way, immune to the approach of remote hacking and the parasite entering into the body, which is a great fatherly template for every individual because that shouldn't happen. So when you're breathing, it should be safe. But like a petri dish, like a example of ourselves, we don't want our children to be performing death, being like, "Look, I'm so sensitive to the spirit that I fell down dead." No, we're being attacked by a modified a germ attack. And we need to protect our children urgently. We need to defend our women. Do you understand me? We are the men. We need to protect our women and children. Period. So I am the scientist talking to Trey Parker. I'm looking for production. I'm asking you to be my agent. And I am asking you guys to be my friend. Please help. Please understand. You guys didn't know that your nasal cavity was especially vulnerable. But I'm asking you to defend these children with advanced knowledge and the knowing that you're doing what's right. Okay, so, and that's all I need to say about the junk DNA. And I'm telling you, if we defeat this thing, it's a silver lining. It's actually a really good thing. Now, I want to talk about aesthetic and the problem of exoskeleton examples of junk DNA, such as the Electoral College, but also the design structure of things. This is how you guys treat the face. It looks like a monster. You can't, you're not going to expect some kid to wear this. Well, I want to be safe. Listen, I'm, this is my basket and this is like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy one of these, right? Okay, because, but, all right, listen, it's not designed for this occasion. This sort of casual apocalypse requires an adaptation, a new invention, because I, it's not, this mask is not cool. I'm not anticipating that kids would be excited to wear this thing to school. And because everyone's saying, hey, a mask is going to be enough. But now recently, Florida and Texas and all these guys are saying, hey, we don't even need a mask. While this thing's adapting, they're not listening to the scientists, just like Greta and the Friday Kids have been saying, that these adults are tone deaf and there's an evil censorship against the heroes and the children that are being murdered by the parasite of the establishment. I know how this business works. Such an such an atrophy. It is a doomsday itself. It is the junk DNA. These old men. I remember when cell phones were invented. You remember the deadlights rose and went off whilst you were sleeping. I am a wolf in sheep's clothing, and I will give these people such cheer and hope an American revolution. I'm a leader. You understand me? I have things to say. All right. So, anyway, the problem with this mask, even though it would save your life if you're wearing it through a crowd, is that it's not comfortable. It's ugly, it's stupid, and I don't even want to wear one. It looks like you're, I mean, because some people are just wearing like a little cloth mask, not like a surgical mask, just like a piece of cloth there. Right? So you look kind of funny going out there with this, right? But if we make it into a story, okay, so let me go ahead and do that. Let's go and talk about the ideal breather. Okay. So what we want to do, I want to present this as a story where we can see characters using the mask, playing with the mask, enjoying the mask. And what it is a gaming platform that runs through your cell phone. If you don't have a cell phone, you can just use it as a breather. And we'll have, of course, we'll have to get a department developing it and everything, and it'll have parental controls and uh, but the point is to open up like this sort of a gaming platform, and then that okay, well, I'm trying to explain, and then that excites the sort of market of those who develop software, and then we'll have like a plethora of exciting new things. And we actually explain that in the presentation. And so we're like, oh yeah, and they're like adapting new games for the cell phone interface. It's gonna be like XR. And we're gonna like animate, or if something's not ready yet, we'll like animate. We're thinking like this, or this is sort of what its capacity, because it does have this equipment. And maybe we'll have like a brand like, oh, but if you're not interested in that, you can just order it without those pieces. But if you change your mind, you can order the kit to install the little laser animation things into your mask, and so you can participate with the cell phone app. But the point is, like, if we make this thing like, you know, this is an air filtration system, and wearing it literally is going to help your lungs recover. So this is something also that COVID-19 survivors might wear just to help them to have clean air to recover, especially if they live in like Los Angeles or something. Okay, so oh, totally, yeah, lungs and breathing is totally sensitive. And what the, and Hatch is also saying like, you guys, this was an age of elemental holy war. That's why we were burning oil. It's not because humans are bad. It's because they were swearing because we were being soul raped. And something bad happened with the church. Anyway, that's the history of the 90s. And I love Trey Parker because I can smell the scent of my entire life. I have a deep admiration for Trey. I have this soul connection. You know, in a way, I don't want to say that. That's fine. So in a way, like I'm a huge fan of Trey's voice and his singing. Oh, I love Trey sang a song to me about unfulfilled. Oh my God, so funny. And you guys haven't done anything wrong to me. I want you guys to understand this is magical and perfect, but I need you to commit. I need you to produce me. I need you to help me so that I can have this. All right. So the entire point of this presentation is to talk about this mask. It's supply and demand. We're doing things because we want to protect our family and because it's the appropriate response. The society civility is not having appropriate response. They're having a petri dish behavioral carbon being like, well, this is, well, the human condition is vulnerable, yes, but we'll survive. Yeah, well, we're going to survive, but I'm talking about rounding up. I'm talking about saving, and curbing the spread of strands. And, I'm concerned seriously because this is a sort of thing where all this, like in 20 years, we're finding that our, like, usually our old people, they go into their 90s. And I'm concerned because if you go through a couple of these strands, your body is so beat up that you're going to kick it when you're in your 70s or something. And that's not okay. We need to keep living because we are a pillar and an example of life's and light's survival against a dark and terrible oppression of a premeditated attack. They didn't allow the child to speak. They wouldn't allow for free speech. They didn't care. They didn't believe that the fetus icon represented individuals that would arrive on the earth at some time. But there's some encryption against that happening. Anyway, that's sort of this other issue. I was trying to sneak some medicine into the formula I didn't want to shock Trey about talking about, oh, drunk today, by the way, because I'm not trying to undermine your orientation. I'm not trying to upset you, but the issue is upsetting. And it is mature and wise to grapple with the issue and be like, okay, right? So think about it. All right, here we are. So the point is that when we introduce the interface, that's all we need to do. We just build the infrastructure and we control the app so that we approve who, well, like what kind of programs are available on it, and that's going to expand so fast. And so we can be delivering this, while that's being rendered, and just be like, well, that's coming along. I mean, but that really is the selling point. I mean, that's the point. Like even if you weren't afraid about the pandemic, you might be like, oh, and because they showed us that there's a little face cam, and that just does your facial animations for your avatar, and then you can have a call. It's sort of like Discord, where you can have a call with a group of your friends and we'll develop that and to make sure it's safe for the family and all. But you understand that would be amazing. Imagine like you're walking along with your armor, you're wearing that, and you're the priority. These little lights there, you can feel a nice cool breeze like blowing over your head there, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to go. And it's so cool because as you're walking, you could have simultaneous like a couple different conversations or like a group conversation. And that's an inspiration, you guys. That is an innovation. This is something people might be, well, okay, it is absolutely a breather, okay? So, but is this, if people want to maintain their body space and have no strands of infection, this is what they want. This is the product they're going to want. But it needs to be, you have to be able to wear it. And, wear it for a significant amount of time, and you need to also be excited when you put it on. So when you put it on, like there's a little sound and the lights and the air comes on, and it's great. You can charge it overnight, or you can sit down and use your keyboard and talk to your friends and have it plugged in. But hopefully we can counterbalance, have the batteries and the heavy equipment on the backside in such a capacity. It is like a balancing act, and we can do it on a computer. Also, we can design the w- wind current design, and it's amazing because with a computer, we can use a computer to design the weight balance. Um, yeah, and I'm so excited about that. It's just like, oh, what's beautiful about plastic casting is we can make an ornate, beautiful piece. Part of the design and part of how the air is conducted, and also where the equipment is attaching to. All this is just evenly. Whoosh, it's printed right into the plastic. So this thing is a amazing work of technology, and it's going to save lives, you guys. This is totally cool, right? And this is my signature helmet model. Um, I think we'll have a bunch of different things. I was interested in having like a kids model and get some of our kids to work on it. And of course, I'm excited about Trey doing the gentleman's best. That's sort of the best way for Trey and I to begin our friendship and our work together. And the story is simply, let's clarify the story, you guys, because there's been a lot of pain between us, but it's also relevant. It's about humanity. It's about Earth. It's about the universe. It's about what are those uncommunicative aliens doing over there? Oh, whoa, whoa! There's happened to be a scientist in Massachusetts, and there's a lot of weird stuff with him. But he's like, oh yeah, that was a huge problem. And Trey's like, I never thought it was a problem. We were just joking about it. And I'm like, guys, you guys are a slice of American pie. Let me tell you, no problems. Like that is good. Uh, you guys have been doing a very powerful social service and maintaining and of course and it's just amazing to me because Trey in his mind is like I look back at South Park older seasons and it's just so bad, and it's so cute because Trey he doesn't realize that he's seeing something that he didn't know is literally that society is growing. And the reason that one of the reasons that South Park is so powerful is those sharp colors and shapes. Those are very good for the eyes. It's almost like um, a powerful image, a solid image that everyone gets, that they see the thing fall down. Oh no, Kenny died. It's like very healthy, very good. So that comes from the good nature of Colorado, and it flows like a mighty river from you guys. Um, so what I'm saying, I'm here also to represent this material. I wanted to talk. Let's just have a little break from the seriousness, Trey Parker and friends. If any of you are in a position to invest in the stock market, I am telling you that this is about to explode. If this element is on the uh, stock market, I would advise you to buy shares now because it is going to be everywhere. It's going to be on cars. It's going to be on roofs. It's going to revolutionize energy. It's almost going to make my whole spiel about hydroelectric dams and like how this is energy. Those rivers are flowing continuously. Energy, that's water energy. We're like 80% water. So we're water spirits. And so like the intention flows. And we understand the heart. Anyway, if this is on the stock market, it might not be. And it goes through this a huge protocol to get things onto the stock market, but if you guys should invest in this because it's huge. Absolutely huge. All right, but let's just take a little break. I want to talk to you guys about some fun things. Okay, all right. So then there's like this motorcycle. I'm going to talk to you about some underpants in a minute that I want you to buy. All right. Whoa. Okay, hold on a sec, Trey. So like this one's pretty cool. But it is taking it takes intake from the front. This one is really interesting because it has an actual vent that you plug in an air breather. So this like an electric motor that you tack onto the back of your bike and then run a pipe here, and then you have this sort of air conditioning going on. A wonderful experience, really. But this model is like more like I was thinking I would just buy this for myself, and I am thinking about it as a good price for it. I might just get that. Hard to find grape tang these days, so I had to look up on this. Okay, so what I'm trying to say about the design, it's like it's like the Electoral College. This is a not a good design. People would say, "Oh, it's efficient," but it's like painful to wear, and it looks really stupid. It's but this actually kind of looks cool, right? This kind of honors the face in a cool way, and so that's what we want to do with these because this is clear plastic, and so people are able to breathe and they smile and you can see their face. And you guys, it's lightweight. Yeah, really cool. All right, so I want to make this kind of. I had this idea. I was like, oh, I'm gonna challenge Trey to purchase several items from Amazon, and I want you to really do this, Trey. Actually want you to purchase several things from Amazon, and the first of it is this super soft micro nano manual toothbrush. It has these super tiny bristles, and it is an inspiration, you guys. I'm so excited as to I can't wait to get this thing. But I'm waiting for my stimulus check, know, to buy like a helmet and stuff. Here's the actual pipe for the air thing. It's totally weird, but it does say what's weird about it. It says Parker Pumper. Coincidence? I think not. Definitely God is on this and is speaking to us. All right, so Trey, literally, I'm saying I'm challenging you, Trey. I'm challenging you to buy this list of things that, okay, that I'm going to present to you right now, because it is soft, it is snuggly, and I'm wearing them right now. But yeah, this toothbrush, like, I really um, excited to try it out, and I definitely recommend that. Um, all right, so here it is. These super fluffy socks, you have to buy these. All right, this is an absolute steal. I think it's like $14, right? And they fit like a dream. When you're wearing it, it's like you're with every footstep you're coming. It feels so good. Well, I had some like high strap boots. I have some leather uh, boots with the high top, and I'm wearing them right now. And it's basically that I needed an ample covering that went up to my foot about here because I'm wearing a boot, right? So I bought these because I bought some leather boots, and I love them. Um, but after I got these socks, I was just like, oh my gosh, and I bought like two more packs of it. So I'm saying like buy like 5 packs of these socks and give them to your friends because they are so delicious and good. Okay, here's the underpants. So these underpants, I'm wearing them right now. They come, each one is it arrives in its own box, and they're fancy. You open it up, and they feel like silk when you're wearing them, but they're stretchy and they support, and it's a good ball protection. It feels like you're being supported, And so these underpants, I really recommend them, and I know that your gnomes are looking for these. And so I wanted to give you the heads up. You guys definitely buy a bunch of these. They are so sweet. All right. But these really are the most powerful thing. Yes, I did buy this golden jacket, and there's that picture. I'm actually wearing it in whoa. I probably shouldn't. I'm probably hold on just a moment. So here's I'm wearing that golden jacket. Uh, this American King recommends. So it's kind of fun to buy some things. But I'm not telling you to buy this. It's actually, and I bought one of these, and I'm really loving that for when I have ideas and I just want to record it real quick. I bought these for my brother. Um, this lamplight, oh my God, I use it every night. It's so good. It recharges USB, and like it's literally changed my patterns because I'm able, because like a lot of times like late at night I'm like, oh, I want to do some art, but there's not enough light, and I'm like, oh well, you know. But this has like changed everything because it has three settings of brightness and amazing. Oh, this is the thing. Oh, Trey. All right, Trey. This is the thing. This is the thing. I bought one of these, and it literally has removed my love handles. Dude, this thing works. You need friction. Do you remember in the it's so often that real good inventions get absconded and categorized as like, oh, well, you wouldn't want to wear a girdle because that's for a lady. I'm like, no, dude, I want to wear clothing that actually fits me. Have you ever seen a man who wore a belt and he wore a belt and and he gets older and he gets a little plump? Do you know what it looks like when the man, you know, when you look at the man's hips, you can see where the belt was riding because he has a thin part where the belt was making friction and rubbing all day long. But he has this big muffin top that topples over. The fuck? It's like our clothing isn't even built for a mature. All right, I'm sorry that I'm cursing, but this is mature material. But I want to talk about the family and stuff. But seriously, Trey, I mean, what we're talking about saving lives and about the opportunity of Trey to design a breather mask, that's what we're excited about. That's what we're here talking about. But on the side, I want to tell you, this thing works, and this is the best one. I like okay, so like 10 years ago, I was very active and I was doing my show and actually I was very slim, but it was just this persistent. Oh, okay, also if when you're okay, so there's this persistent love handles. And I was like, the fuck, you know, why won't those go away, right? And so then so I was like, I'm pretty sure friction is all I need to like, just rub that out. I put on a girdle, like in a couple hours, started to feel a very peculiar queasiness, and I'll tell you why. Because my body was like, oh, like I'm just about to poop all of that love handles out. Because that's exactly what it needed. It was just like congested and just hanging there, those love handles. And I was like, I could actually feel my body go like, oh, that is I just needed some pressure on it. And I'm going to just digest that fat and it's just going to whoosh, it's going to go out. And sure enough, it did. I was a slim, I was so handsome and thin some 10 years ago. Um, and I want to get back into that shape. And I've got a little bit of a tummy right now, but and so I am not actually wearing the belt right now because, and it's right here. I can have some MSR of Velcro. Um, but like when I'm performing, I kind of want to be able to just it's sort of like breathe and just be relaxed. But yeah, absolutely. I've been sleeping with it on, and it helps you lose weight while you're sleeping. You guys, basically, I'm saying like clothing needs to be more supportive for men in a particular way. And so I'm thinking like this is like normal clothing for men should actually extend beyond this part and go right up to here because of what we know as the problem of the muffin. All right. So I am challenging you, Trey, to buy one of these. It is thick, wide. It's wide enough for this is a large. Get the large one. Get the large one. Yep. Get the biggest one they have. I don't think they have an XL. Honestly, I think it's just a small and large. Oh, I also got a popcorn machine. All right, this is exactly. So I am challenging you, Trey, to buy this thing, and I know that you wouldn't do it on your own. I'm telling you, this is the right one. I've bought a bunch of ones that are. Look at the price, Um, oh, 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 it appears to have, oh, large. Oh, I remember when I ordered this that it had two different sizes, but apparently it's just down to the large now. I don't know. Oh, anyway, like because I actually okay, so like 10 years ago I made my own girdle and it worked. Um, and then I experimented. I was buying some different girdles, but some of them they lose their they can't hold together, or they're built crappily, or they shrink and they get too small, like they become like ropes on the sides, and I'm like, what? Like it's made from the wrong material or whatever. But this one is actually designed by some professionals, like it actually does the thing, and I have been loving it. And I dropped so much depression. Okay, so because I've been wearing it, it was actually last night that I went into the bathroom. I'm like, oh my god, dude, I lost like literally I'm on course of being in the shape I want to be. And you just need friction. Remember in the 70s or the 60s, they had this vibration thing where it was like for women, and they would just lean back and it go da, 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 and and it vibrates, and that friction is really what burns fat in those problem areas. So you don't need to exercise. You know, humans are doing way too much exercising and way too much dieting. Um, but you know, to each their own. I mean, we're supreme masters of Zen. I'm saying we're like living with weights on our feet and arms, like it's an absorbent punishment for the calories. Is you okay? It's I'm just so this is essential. So oh, you know what I'd really like is some clothing that actually fits. That actually that is clothing. Like that, you don't know about an older gentleman with a belt. You haven't seen that. Oh boy. Ugh. All right, so oh, definitely buy one of these, Trey. Um, and so I'm challenging you, Trey, to purchase a bunch of these socks, a bunch of these underpants, um, and this. Now, it also you maybe you'd like to also buy one of these, or you'd like to buy one of these. Now, the problem. So let's return to that. That was sort of fun, right? I was like, "Hey, put this in your shopping cart," Absolutely. And I want to talk about the wear map. So the problem with this is that it is completely unfun and uncool. And there's no reasonable person that wants to wear this thing. I've been talking to my own parents. My mom has gone out of retirement and they're teaching again. Apparently, they get tested every week, which is like, whoa. But also, they got their shots. So here we are, and people are stepping boldly into that light of confidence. Ugh, take off the mask. And I'm like, oh gosh, you guys, I how we have to be before the flood. We have to be before the flood. And I'm saying that this product, even if people are like, oh, but it's like a wonderful thing to own. It's like, oh, it's a new like gaming interface. What? Like, oh, and it has a lot of things that I'm interested in. Maybe if there's an emergency, I'd like that because then you're going out like cyberpunk because it has lights on it and you're like, oh, what? No, I'm protected. But if you go out wearing this, you look like a real schnook. But I mean, a safe schnook, I guess. Anyway, I think that this is probably the best thing because I don't think it has air intake from this way, but I wasn't going to get the pump. I just let it be open like that, and I think that this is probably like as soon as I can, I probably will rock one of these. And but the point is, you guys, it's not really designed for this purpose. And also, there was like so let's just look at some masks for a moment. Okay, here's those, and those things pop on, I think, to this, which gives it extra filtering. But the person is generating the respiration, so that's exhausting. It's also going to leave dents on your face, and it's all pressed against your face, and it's a design disaster. And I'm talking about making a really cool like wolf mask that like it's significant armor, it's cool, it's technology. I've been looking at different helmets and stuff. Um, but once we get the design set, okay, once we get the technical things set, like the how to control the wind cycle in the nozzle, okay, and how to balance it on the head, and it has this sort of turtleneck thing where it rolls up and you just put it on like a hat and then roll down the turtleneck thing. And we're gonna have to design that so it doesn't get too hot, but it's working so that even if someone sneezes on you, it's acting like a salad bar sneeze guard. You understand? Okay. And essentially, there's a cabin pressure. Okay, because it's pushing air into the helmet, and because your head is there, the where you're breathing is actually where it gets pressurized. So when you're not wearing it, yeah, the air might just go "Woo," and it's not really cycling around. But when your head's in there, it's going around that and it's pressurized and you're breathing, so you always have fresh air and it feels good. And you're the priority of that equipment and you can answer a phone call with it. And I think that if we open up that platform and just be like, well, any kind, like we're talking about uh, XR interactive qualities like Pokemon Go. We're talking about yeah, and that's like oh whoa what like talking avatars like Discord. Yeah, man, we want that. It's amazing. It's going to be a revolution, and I'm not going to use this as a like I'm not going to be toe holding about oh my candidacy. I just want to have a good, clean relationship and supply people with things they actually need. But this is absolutely a sign from God. This is intelligent design, and it's talking about the identity from the 90s. It's talking about Beavis. And so you have to understand language and icons. And I think that's what is so sharp about South Park is these very specific shapes and designations like pointing. And everyone gets that. And they're like, oh, that's funny. South Park is so funny. It has great karma and excellent muscle structure. I'm so in love with Trey Parker's technology, physics. He's an incredible wizard. And I knew it instantly. I was like, that's why I sent Trey my silver violin. Is because and then I pulled out and I'm like, oh my God, Trey's like, Earth has chosen a wizard. Because I'm like, yeah, how am I going to get funding to open up my thing? Well, you need a friend. You need a social thing. You know, people usually okay. And I understand that about Trey because he's not someone who enjoys gouging. He's almost a little bit like, you know, consumerism kind of troubles me. And I don't, like I understand people want to wear a T-shirt. That's okay. And those people are my friends, and we do that. But you know, but this is different, you guys. And I want you guys to be excited, and I want you to own it. That's why please own it. Please help me make this. It's totally inspirational. We'll be sharing the technology. So if Trey's like, well, actually, we need some like, like some gauges here that calculate how the brightness, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, and so that will cross over into what I'm doing. Like, absolutely uh, no potential for lights to go into the eyes. So it all needs to be directed in a certain way. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, of course, yep. Um, but we'll be sort of sharing those things. Okay, okay. Oh my God, you guys, thank you so much. We're planning ahead for America's future, you guys, and we're doing this. We are the beloved family, and I want to say peace to South Park, you guys. I'm not gouging you. I don't want to hurt you. I want to be friends with you guys. All right, so let's use those safe uh, relational physics. Uh, well, let's talk about this building again. I know that it is tempting to think about being modest. Like, Hatch, we could probably get by, hiring someone else to print, manufacture, develop, and ship and produce. You guys, then I'll have no. We have to do this like a family. Like, life, save these lives, please. Oh my God, it's so important. Anyway, here's a cock piece. So this is literally like the evidence where Trey is like, we don't have a speech impediment. We're real professionals. Let's protect our kids because the South Park characters are also, your guys' boys, and they have a reality of identity, and it needs to be protected. And that's what I was doing with a long time ago, and I think it made this connection where Trey Parker, as a professional, had sort of like recognition with Hatch and being like, "What? Like your energy's totally different, man. Oh, I'm really like inspired by this guy. Cool." And I support that, and that's awesome. I'm trying to say, oh, actually, I'm a singularity, and but Trey was so perfect when I started becoming friends with Trey, his fake nose fell right off. Like a beautiful baby boy. Trey Parker was absolutely a genuine hero and charismatic and passionate, and he rolled the dice and he punked me out by inviting me. And and th- you guys, we are the hope of Earth to not have our children be replaced by a different species. Okay, the junk DNA is specifically the justice of Earth to survive that which had murdered the Venus, Mars, and Orange Belt. Do you understand? Yes, we are the true love residency of Earth. Humanity is relevant to light. We are not broken. The Earth is not broken. But this is a tantamount to the evidence if Trey Parker says, yes, I understand to protect life, and that is real. I'm not, you know, this is reality. So all of that is what is happening. And so I think Trey is very centered around his art, of course. Look at the little TARDIS right there, a little time doctor. All right, watch out for British humor. We want to have American humor at our base. Okay, we want to have American culture. We need to prove it and fight for it. Okay, here it is. You guys, this look. You need to plug it in. You guys need to plug it in. What's that say? South Park. Okay, we need to plug it in. All right. Well, I love talking with you guys, and thank you guys for being my friend. Um, like, I'm. I understand that Trey doesn't like my smoking habits. Well, I've been broke as a joke for recently, and I haven't been smoking recently, so I'm clear as a bell, and I'm talking to you guys about business. And I think we can do this in such a way where you guys feel comfortable and safe, because I need you to help me with the entire front end of business, period. Right? I'm completely an idol. And I'm saying produce him, produce Hatch, let these kids have a hero, let these things happen. It's free speech, this is what it's for. This will earn a living. Please help me. I'll pay it back. This sort of these old feelings that I've had my whole life, struggling with money and workplace. It's amazing. Okay. Um, like I said, I want to open up our own printing, plastic printing, and distribution center here. And it's a humble beginning, a two-story building, or maybe three. It might have a basement, but whatever. I mean, this building, like, it's older, and but there's no one in the upstairs. Like, why didn't they make that into apartments? It's just like it's a little bit weird. But you know what? You know what? Oh, God is on this, you guys. These buildings are reserved for us. Totally destiny. Yeah, if Earth, exactly. If Earth was doing this, it's amazing because if you compare this map to this one. Remember we were talking about Collins Mill and how if you turn the map, you can see the blue wolf. And here at the voice, oh, is the wolf's howl, Collins Mill. But unfortunately, the only road that gets there is the Dollar Ave. Don't. So what I'm saying is that this image of the wolf is written in the contour of rivers. But this one, my friends, is written in the context of roads. Yes, there's actually a way to get here. What? Trey makes it possible. Trey is my backer. Trey is my, you know, what I'm saying is like, okay, so while I was working hard on my campaign last year, I grew so much. You guys, I earned so much. I have so much muscles now, and I'm much closer to America. I was like watching the news, and I'm like, and I could tell like that the adults in the newscast, they were almost uh addressing me as like a leader or at least like a peer. They're just like, oh, and things are happening in the world. We're concerned about this and that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are talking to me with respect. It's amazing. I'm like, how do I get there? Show me the way, Earth. Let's get the clockwork on it. I'm not even joking. Boom, boom. Align the clockwork. Let's make the greatest possible thing happen for our future and for our country. It's an excellent venture. All the way to the universe. We need actual equipment, and the Green Wolf robot toy does exactly this, and it begins on the cerebral cortex of perception through the Christmas special in South Park. And I'm hoping that that would be our big collaboration. hmm And if we get this production line open, then we can develop our own Green Wolf robot toy musical instrument, and it'll have all types of variable pedals. So you're really interacting like a DJ. You have your own mixer table. Okay, but these because all those distortion pedals have gone digital. You can download packages of digital distortion pedals, and so it's not equipment based. It's something you can do on your computer. And there's a lot of cool DJs. Anyway, we're just talking about assembling a musical instrument that is also transformative to the Earth universe and will prevent Armageddon, like our own pressurized system that fights back. All right. Um, so I really want us to embrace a larger. I've talked to you about this, Trey. Ding, 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 ding. But um, like I wouldn't like I have an idea about where I would break ground first and what we would be doing, but it's very uh, it's, uh, it's going to be full-time, intense, dedicated work, and I'm going to have I'm going to be posting like what I'm doing. These are my projected expenses. This is what I'd like to do. I'm going in this way, and Trey can advise and be like, well, I'm part of this company. I'm over here. We've arranged this. Business models in America can be anything you want. We can write up our own original thing for Hatch and Millie's Master Source Industries. It's a family business, and this cock piece is for South Park, but it costs millions of dollars. But it will pay back that investment, yes. So wow, that's really like putting your money where your mouth is and supporting something about civilization. So between Hatch and Trey is a tenacity of identity and powerful to the persuasion of raising a great and mighty king, my son. The theme here is about building a giant robot with my son. That's what this life story and that's a continual theme that's gonna coming back. And all right, so thank you guys so much. Thank you, Trey. Oh, and good luck tomorrow. You're gonna have your show. Really excited to see that. Really excited, you guys. Um, so for the sake of Earth, we are the wizards. We're here at the table. Armor up from within. Perfect orientation. Everyone being respected. So, part of the thing of the human condition is that we are all professional MPD practitioners. Yes, we have different voices, different characters. And the reason we do that is because we want to supply our own parasite, our own corkscrew to a dynamic an anatomical assembly. However, when, you know, talk about cultures colliding, when it was time for mankind to awaken and shine, that's also when we were attacked. So there was like this huge thing that aluminum and the flat dimension of the Mandelbrot fractal is recording immaculately and calculating the justice of the universe, like the laws of interheliosphere space. The truth of the presence of. Oh, okay. So, anyway, the truth is known, reality is fighting back to save these kids. Oh, but they're really sensitive in their breathing place. The breathing is a spiritual thing. Okay, you're taking in a little bit of the natural thing, what's going on in the world. Breathing the air is part of being immersed in what is happening, so you don't go crazy in your own body, being like, ah, like what's my orientation? Well, you just breathe, and you start to get, oh, okay, oh, I understand. All right, that's right. So, breathing is spiritual, and so this virus is absolutely abysmal blasphemy, going right into that vulnerability of junk DNA. Expressly, this germ warfare is evil and it hurts people. And I'm concerned because it's going to abbreviate people's lifespan, but it's a learning curve. And the earth is performing a type of personal proclamation, a revolution of self to align the earth's needs and identity with the public regard, Trey Parker, and the communication industry, to connect these things, to mend the soul is good. Okay, my name is Hatch. With me as always, is my beloved wife, Millie. Ah, thank you guys. It's been so much fun to hang out with you. Oh, my Dragon King, you guys. I just really want to say I have a new son in my family, a Dragon King. And it's part of a societal recovery act that I'm performing with Walt Disney, and it goes as far as it can artistically. And it's just like, oh, I'm your friend, but it also has its own privatas dimension. So I'm opening up like a dragon heaven kingdom, and my head, oh, I just started, oh, I just started crying, and I felt so happy, and it's hard to explain, but I can feel the epiphany when a new character arrives to my like family unit. I can feel it. I can feel my characters. And so I'm just so proud of my son, the Dragon King. And he's representing a sort of common sense immunity to basically madness. But a lot of people digest it in different ways, and of course, it is correct for them to be like, "Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with." And you're right. I'm the one saying that humanity is the one that can save light itself, because the issue of identity does not blossom from invasion. Okay, that's not how it works. That's not how. Oh my gosh. So that's a huge problem right now. And the closer that you get to the flame, the wider the shadow is cast. And so, sort of, the universe is having an epiphany. And I was very much feeling that throughout my life. Like, there was like this rhythm where Earth was like, oh, not yet, wait, or be careful, watch, we'll go this way. Oh man, I've had a crash course of stuff from Earth, and like, it was so good for me to see the Where map, because for me it was like, boom, it's like, yes, now I want you to speak. I'm like, finally, I can actually communicate to people. God, like I've always been a fine art painter and a character developer and a storyteller and all this, and I've wanted to go and go and go, and finally, you know, that's why I'm so excited about Trey in my life, because of me, not because I'm putting some undue thing on Trey Parker. I know that he's an eclectic professional who's like, hey, I've got a rhythm, I've got a way of thinking, a way that I like things. And I'm like, and that is the individual I'm respecting, and that is okay. And I'm not saying that you're. I'm trying to talk with you like a friend. Be like, oh, these are telltale signs, uh, little bumps in the road, but hoo ho. Where else are we going to derive the intelligence but from the the things that we sense around us? All right, thank you guys so much. I'm going to wind it up here. Um, we we're all right. We're recording. Okay, I'll just say a little bit here, and then I'm going to close out. Oh boy, this is the big one, you guys. So I'm pretty sure that Trey will not be available tomorrow night when he's having a. See, I have like a fantasy in my head about what Trey does when when his show is playing. Trey's gonna be doing his weird thing without pants on. My show's on. Drinking the wine, feeling the cosmic flow. That's awesome. Trey, you're authentic and real and legit. You should be empowered to feel your experience with humanity grow and be great for it. And Trey's probably like, oh, I usually crash and just, like I sleep. But, I'm just teasing. I'm just saying, like, it's awesome. And I'm so happy, like, because Earth is basically saying, okay, like, Hatch, be weird, be your crazy self. Say the stuff, don't hold back. And with the Wear map, but also it's like, oh, like Earth had a vision with stone perception, which means clockwork, which means there's actually a road that could lead to the Wear map. And I think it's this, because I didn't just send Trey Parker the silver violin, which was plan A. I also sent him a full face covering a fishbowl mask. I sent him my own custom built full mask. And that's like plan B. So it's like either the violin like will be like this really intense family thing, or plan A, the violin, that didn't work. Plan B, a breather mask. Exactly. So I think that like because my green perception is activated, but the speech impediment of humanity, I also can't abandon the human condition. I need to understand like, how people is and feel the rhythm. So it's this thing. It's not a compromise. It's mastery. And I believe in my method and technique, and I believe with a public audience, if I'm like have a little, like I do a little thing, and people feel comfortable because they're like, oh, sometimes I feel a little funny, it's okay. Set those birds free. And I feel I am that. I'm like a big dad for a lot of people later, and I think that's why Trey and I are connected like this because he's known as a really good guy to be around. And I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to work with Trey and develop some new characters in the future. But right now, it's not a great party. There's this upsetness, okay, and so we need to be profound and personal, and I think that would be one of the greatest possible beginnings for Trey and I to be good friends. Thank you guys so much. Armor up from within. Each of us in our own course of walk of life are on a certain level, and we need to get the upgrades for what we need. But each one of you needs to develop it for yourself. Okay, so from your side, you guys, you need to, okay, let's activate our mind. And then allow yourself to create perfect design, the perfect thing for you. The next step. Next step, go. Goes all the way all the way to your mind, up to your epidermis, and in the vacuum of that calculation, the rendering is completed, and you've been updated with all your magics. So you're going to be more in tune with what you need to do and all this. Because what I discovered is that when you're on your course, what I found about science and math is that it's totally a discovery that is real and intuitive. And if you are passionate, the numbers will speak to you and the science will blossom and you'll find connectivity. But each scientist has a different and unique path. And this might be the actual category of what people detect as like string theory. They're like, it seems that there's multiple universes and strings. I'm like, well, what if it's just multiple people? So, the problem of removing yourself from the calculation of the universe is the problem. And this debasing is what scientists do because they're little nerd burglars to their petri dish. So their example is like, oh, when I think about big stuff, I remove myself from the calculation because I'm a consumer. And I'm Armageddon going, and Trey's like, no, we are not Armageddon, believe us. We live here. America is our home. Don't give us those anal probes. Doo-doo. Trey is the good father who's been laughing about this with kids who are like, oh no, what's our responsibility? Are we supposed to be junkie possessed? And I'm like, oh, no, no, no. That's this other thing. Okay. Because, okay. So actually a lot of our, okay. Thank you guys so much. Just upgrade yourself and understand that humanity is the true love of Earth. We need to go. We need to fight. We need to save these lives. If we can make these breather masks, you guys, we're before the flood now. I just, it's really important, you guys. That's what I'm saying. Is like the design of the other masks is just like, uh, I don't see like people wearing that. There will be people will be starting wearing those. Yeah, but I want to present something that's affordable and more efficient and better running. It's actually going to filter air. It's like, oh, it's a revelation and it's a revolution. We put that gaming in, you can answer a phone call. All of a sudden, boom, we have an entire gaming station that companies are making games for that platform, right? And so we have to figure out, the buttons and stuff. And maybe there's a control. I don't know. Like it's like this whole thing. Yep. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time and energy. Thank you, Trey. Good luck with your show. To have the best possible thing with your show tomorrow. Okay. And thank you guys so much. I'm really excited to be your friend and work on this project. I've been analyzing some when I was analyzing that Walt Disney thing, the Raya and the Last Dragon. I played back the princess's voice in super slow mo, and I detected a weird thing. Um, that is to say, all right, simply put, what I discovered is that I think that generally people think that being optimistic is is kin to like autism. Like if you're optimistic about what's going on in the world, if you're optimistic at all, you're like, you know, not to be taken seriously. And I think that's really upsetting. All right. Thank you guys so much. For America and for this universe. This is perfect. It's complete. You guys, thank you so much. I'm really excited about this. It's gonna be a revolution. How do we bring this all together? But it's just gonna be a wonderful walking course and just a beautiful landscape. And we're gonna have events where, and like for example, the Simpsons thing. And I have a couple of ideas of characters I'd like to work with. And okay, so for example, the Simpsons thing, it's basically a huge party. It's catered. There's 3 meals a day. It's like a big party for the whole week. All right. So and just sort of like when we feel, almost like when we feel like it, if people are like, oh, I feel a little, and we're like, oh, it's fine. We'll just do that later, or even tomorrow. It's fine. But like to have Matt Groening there and the cast of The Simpsons, and then they put on their yes, they can see. They put on their VR so they can see the Simpsons face, and that's a different experience for these Simpson actors. And that's why I want to include Matt Groening because it's a epiphany for him too, and he can be like, he'll be a Simpson character and go like, oh hey Homer, oh my God, talk about like absolutely perfect true love. Here's the point: if we just do this thing and film, and it's like we're in character, but it's sort of kind of this ad lib where we want to see like really unusual social situations where Marge is tending the house, and then Lisa walks in and just says stuff, and oh God, tears of joy. All right, here's the kicker. All right, so we just do this and we play with this equipment, and there's like this, and we really impress them because there's like a hotel room with it's their name on it with a star, and they go in and it's like what, and it's like it has all these lovely things. Okay, because that's an investment in our building. But the point is, we set up like this stage, and we film for a week, and the only thing that's going to preserve that stage set is if these guys say, we want to come back and do that again. I'd say, all right, well, we're not going to be, bringing a sledgehammer to this area. Any rate, okay, but here's the point. So we just have an absolute party, but totally adult, not like weird stuff, but just really nice things where we're relaxing by the river, and we've got like a screened-in dining area, and they deliver the food, and you can hear the river rustling, and we just sort of sit by the breeze and hang out. And it's so important. And then, all right, here's the point. So we record for like a week, right? But what we've actually done is captured enough footage to make half a dozen Simpson movies. So, but it's yes, yes, it's ad lib. It's completely different. But Matt Grewing is literally there. He's just his voice is there. It's a different thing, yeah. I'm hoping that we can get get this all. Okay, but it's down the line, I know. But this is this type of visionary stuff, you guys, because this is good for America. It's just like, oh, I wanted to do that, yes. And I am so passionate for that too. So I want to emphasize. I want to have that experience with everyone. All Americans will have that experience with Matt Grewing. Thank you guys so much. Like I'm super excited and like so yeah, like they put on this the VR and they're in The Simpsons. That they probably haven't had that experience yet. Unless they went on to like VR chat and they're like, "Oh wow, and probably not. They're like professionals. So, oh my God, that's just such an opportunity. That, like I said, it's just like we have a nice party, right? And we relax by the river. And we shoot for we have a casual shooting schedule for this is actually a nice river. And we long term, yes, we want to get want to change the piping here, but it means like the piping is coming out right here, so you just need to dig it up and then convert it to go straight down here. And once we do that, we'll have multiple energy generators, and then we'll have some robots here on the wiener. So for defense, it's my cock piece. It defends my balls and protects my dick. So it's actually really important because that's part of talk about the extremities of identity, like the breathing system. Oh, there's like weird, pockets in there that has a lot of germs. Oh, so we must be really resilient. Yeah, but not if you attack us with COVID-19. What the mother? All right. Mothers, moms want this breathing mask, please. So that's the spirit. I can feel American soul being like, oh, I love that thing. Oh, da, 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 da. Feel the chatter, feel the buzz on it. All right. Um, uh, so yeah, like my mind is like, we have to do some groundwork. Of course, I know. Um, but uh, but that's the point. It's like we just have a wonderful time, and then the result is like a cache of Simpson movies. Unbelievable. So Hatch is talking about a production. Hatch has a visionary about making movies, and it's just you have to treat these people like royalty, so they're in a good mood, so that they don't feel cheesed out when they're literally holding up the entire country on their shoulders, on their performance, on their voice. Okay, that's a lot of work. And I have represented that in the 10 years ago. I was building Dollywood for celebrities and working with that, trying to make customized energy, uh, different prototypes for different people. But that's I loved celebrities back then because I'm like, these are people who want good equipment. These are people who are like, give me the best. I'm a celebrity. I have money. Give me the best. That's their attitude. And I could give, and of course I give, I produce. It's hard to explain, you guys, how Chrono Pigs works, but it wa- it's just like I'm lucky. I'm like a luck dragon. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just I work with society. I love it. And here's my Dragon King son, and I'm so proud to be talking with you guys about this. And thank you so much. And we really care about you, Eric Cartman and Stan and Kyle and Kenny. We love you guys, and we're really excited about the Zen of South Park and how and we really okay. Thank you guys so much. Please rally and your energy. Get some uh, together about talking about producing this and finding the resources to make it happen. Thank you guys so much. And we can work together, build the business model. Okay, we need to feather this in. We need this much back. Okay, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to pay my bills. All right. Mm. Um, all right. Thank you very much. And I do have plans for these. I have a lot of things written down. But real money making ventures. And like, cause I'm a technician, I know how to put things together. Um, so we're gonna get along. But yeah, so this building and this building and this building are the types that we want to get a contract with them. Like, oh, next year we'll give you 1.5 million, or what do you guys think? And they're like, well, you know, what? They're like, what? Where did this come from? And they're like, oh, you know, but I could consider going up to 3 million for this area, and we might have to go like 4 million for this one because these guys are probably jerks. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Uh, I'm totally joking. They're super nice people. But it is a substantial building, um, and this one's even more substantial. I think these two little ones are probably pretty crappy, and they're like, "Do you want these?" And I'm like, you know, it's kind of like a chore to take those on. I like this idea of like slooping back here and taking over this whole space. And oh, we really need this for just kind of like a diagonal there. And I mean, look at the parking, additional parking over here, private parking, and this is like it's a wonderful project, you guys, right in the middle of a factory town. So these are people who live here, and they're like, we want factory jobs. That's like their inheritance. And look, here's like this magical train that goes underwater. Oh my gosh, this train delivers things from this town and it goes underwater. This is absolutely a magical. Look at this magical dragon. You can see it. Look at this blue and green dragon. Greenville Park. Grenville Park. The tail of the dragon. It's destiny, you guys. He's so beautiful and majestic. Oh, and he has like a unit. He has an alicorn like type configuration with like a horns and the wings. And what he's doing right now, he's breathing a little bit of fire, dragon fire magic. But what he's really doing, he's communicating with the universe. So this oval shape represents the entire universe image here. And the Dragon King, he lives here, and he's all, he like flies around in the universe. So the Dragon King, and here he's in his safe world, but he does his unicorn magic, and it goes out and talks with the whole universe. Amazing. So I think this is to me a very good sign. So for me, it's like the dragon is like breathing the good, healthy food onto the cock piece. There's an open mouth here. Um, but it's like breathing dragon fire. So it's making this better and healthy. All right, you guys, thank you so much for this cock piece. I'm asking Trey Parker to produce and partner with Hatchpan Heliosphere. And thank you guys so much. What a marathon. I love you guys. Thank you, Trey. I respect you. Trey, I respect your timing. I understand and I appreciate your time. Please work with me. Thank you, sir. It is good.